I was just taking a stroll in the woods when I heard some gunshots. So I went to go investigate it and came across this guy fiddling with a red balloon. I walked over to him and he said,
I know what you're thinking, guys. Why am I standing here at 1,000-yard range? Because I got something to show you today, guys. I've got my trusty balloon. I've got a Barrett semi-automatic 50 caliber. We're going to run back to 1,000 yards, and we're going to do some offhand shooting on this balloon to give you an idea of just how fast we can react from the low ready and come up and hit a balloon. Here we go. Whoa!
wow, that's some speed on that bullet, traveling 1,000 yards. So I look to see how fast the bullet was going, and I find out it was going 1,483.8 feet per second. I mean, that must be a pretty aerodynamic bullet, right? So then I think, isn't the Earth supposed to be spinning at 1,000 miles per hour? I mean, shouldn't the bullet miss the target every time if it's a separate entity with the Earth? Right? So I look up, does the atmosphere rotate with the Earth? Because that's the only explanation for what I just saw. And I come across this supposable answer. And it says, the atmosphere does rotate along with the Earth for the same reason you do. Are you going to tell me that reason? I mean, I don't think I'm a gaseous being. I think that's just the atmosphere. I'm a physical being, right? I think that's why gravity pulls on me, because I have a lot of mass. Last time I checked, gaseous particles don't have a lot of mass. And then they say force isn't needed to make something go. Excuse me? Is that a statement? Because if it is, it's wrong. Force is needed to make something go, right? You need a force behind movement. You need an energy for something to move. So already they're trying to screw with your brain. And then they say that's a basic law of physics, that a thing that's moving will just keep moving if there's no force on it. I mean, that's what inertia is. But the laws of physics also say there needs to be a force to produce movement, to make something go. So immediately, everyone who reads this has no idea why the fucking atmosphere rotates along with the Earth. Nobody knows. I mean, I'm going to make a graphic for this to help everyone visualize what they're saying is going on. So we have the Earth spinning at 1,000 miles per hour, right? That's what they teach us. And the force behind that movement was the Big Bang. So in the beginning, nothing blew up and created the Earth. That sounds like a creation story. That sounds like a religion. From nothing came something. I mean, there isn't any science backing that one up. That's just assumption, because you're trying to deny God, right? That's what science is doing at the moment. Anyways, Earth spins at 1,000 miles per hour. But why is that 1,000 mile per hour motion, spin, also affecting the atmosphere? Right? I mean, I don't know. Where did the force of the atmosphere come from? You just tell me it's relative to the Earth's spin. So where did the atmosphere's motion come from? I mean, is gravity pulling on every gaseous particle in the atmosphere and it's just spinning it like a wheel? Is that what's happening? That doesn't even make any sense. I mean, I thought if I was living on a ball, that gravity would attract me because I have a lot of mass to my body, right? So already the atmosphere moving with the Earth doesn't make sense. So we're going to go out on the range and we're going to pretend that the atmosphere doesn't move because there's no proof that it moves. Find me proof. Go ahead and find me proof. You're only going to come up to one answer. It's relative. Oh, it's relative. That's what your answer is. Are you going to press the red button and lock in your answer with relativity? It's just spinning because that's the only way you can explain it. I mean, it's a one word answer to explain why everything in the atmosphere is spinning with the Earth. It's just relativity. I mean, to me, that sounds like it's just a thought, just an idea in your head, right? But, but no, that's the final answer. That's where it ends. Do you get why that's not a good answer? I mean, can you explain to me why it's relative? Maybe I should just start asking you guys why it's relative. Hmm? Do you have an answer for me? Is your magical force of gravity just grabbing onto every little particle and it's all just spinning? Why is it relative? That's the question. That's not the answer. Relativity is not the fucking answer. That's for sure. I mean, even though you say it's the answer, can't you answer why? How it's relative? Tell me. I want to know. So now we're going to simulate the Earth spinning without the atmosphere because there's really no good answer for why the atmosphere spins. And it looks something like this. I mean, I know I couldn't hit a bullseye with that, with a spinning Earth. Do you think that the air is just pushing the bullet perpendicular to its path to go along with your little spin of the Earth? Is that what you think? That it's just pushing it right along because gravity says so? That's your answer. That's the story. Because a theory, the theory of gravity, that really has never been proved. The LIGO test never even found a gravity wave. The actual test didn't even take the curvature of the Earth into account. You can watch Jesse Spot's video on that. The LIGO test is absolute bullshit. So, what you're saying is that the atmosphere spins with the Earth because it's relative to the Earth's spin because Earth is spinning, and then you say gravity binds it all together as if atmosphere is a solid object. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. That doesn't even correlate to real life. Those are both thoughts. Gravity and relativity. Yeah, those are just thoughts with a shit ton of numbers behind them to supposedly back it up. But you can't do one test. There's no repeatable test you can do. to prove any of it. It's just magic. Mm-hmm. This is what you expect me to believe is going on. You think that the atmosphere is pushing the bullet like this? Hmm? That's what you expect me to believe? How fast was that bullet going? Let's check. 1,483 feet per second. A tiny bullet with no surface area. I mean, look how aerodynamic it is. So how the hell is the atmosphere pushing it right along? Hmm? I mean, hopefully you realize how idiotic this whole globe is at this point. So I'm calling BS on the atmosphere spinning because there is no sufficient evidence that it is spinning. The only reason they had to make it spin was because without the atmosphere spinning, planes would not be able to land. Do you realize why that is? Unbelievable.